I'm Dakota Karper. Today we are going to be working on a whole slew of bowing techniques that you can use to really take your fiddling to the next level. Let's jump right in. We're going to have some fun. Today, as we begin working on bowing technique, I want to make sure and note that you should make sure that you're in a good position to have use of your entire bow. If you're sitting down, sometimes your right leg can get in the way. So either turn in such a way that you have use of your full bow when bowing. You might try crossing your legs one way or the other, or standing up. Any of those will allow you the most use of your bow when doing these techniques. Technique 1 is going to be focusing on a smooth sound for your entire bow. So this, you're just going to go ahead and place your bow on any string. I'm going to use my A string. And as I'm pulling my bow, I'm focusing on keeping my tension the same all the way from frog to tip and back to frog. So I'm trying to get a clear, even tone. To have a clear tone, I need to not be pushing down and then lightening up throughout the course. I don't want it to be... You can hear the wobble in the sound, and also avoiding my bow sliding back and forth as I'm bowing. That's giving an uneven sound. So right smack in the middle between your the end of your fingerboard and your bridge, and pulling with an even tone. That is the basis of everything. If you can make your bow clear, then everything about your fiddling is going to improve. So do that 30 times a day, just practicing those long, straight bows. Once you have that down, the next bowing technique is going to be the pulse. So technique 2, the pulse, is also going to be a long, straight bow, but in the middle of the bow, when I hit about this point, I'm going to increase the speed of my bow. So it would be like slow, slow, quick, slow, slow, slow. So I'm going back to slow on both ends, slow, slow, quick, slow, slow. I'm not adding pressure, I'm not pushing down on the string, it's just a speed increase. If I push down, I get a crunch sound. So this would be your pulse. And you can hear that tonal difference that's happening just from doing a pulse. Now, to make these exercises more interesting, rather than doing them just on an open string, when you feel like you have them relatively down with your right hand, we can start to move our left hand around a little bit and practice both our long bows. I would say use an A scale and do a long bow on each note. After that, try your pulsed bow. Now, once you start to really have that down well, start to focus on changing strings in the midst of that. So you might take your long bow and go... That's just slurring those notes. So my bow keeps going in the same direction, but I'm adding an open D string as I go. The same thing with a pulse. Technique 3 is the shuffle. So this is your standard shuffle, also called the Nashville shuffle, and it's going to be the beats of 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So that's going to be a long bow followed by 2 short bows, and again a long bow followed by 2 short bows. Keeping them first of all even. So we're putting our long bow practice into this even though the length of our bow is changing. Even sound of long, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short. Now that long can either be a physically long bow followed by 2 physically short bows, or you can make a long bow sound by pulling your bow slowly. So it's really slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick. And that will give you the same sound as if you're physically pulling your bow long, but it'll allow you to not wear your arm out so quickly. So that in a scale could either be once you're ready to try a little bit of motion across strings, then make the long bows a slur from your lead string, say the A string, to your alternating drone string. So like the D string would be slur, short, short, slur, short, short, slur, short, short, slur, short, short. So there, that's the slurs are all of my long bows. It still is just long, short, short, but I'm practicing moving across a string in the midst of it. With our Nashville shuffle, we can focus on where do we want the emphasis to fall. So if our beats are 1, 2, and 3, 4, and we can achieve that with a smooth bow, then we can start adding emphasis. To emphasize a bow stroke, you usually have to stop the bow before you play it. By coming to a complete stop, it allows you to beat into the string a little bit at the beginning of your pull. So like, it adds that crunch, which in this case we're looking for. So there I was emphasizing the longs, the 1s and 3s. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. You can also switch the emphasis and do it on 2 and 4, which is your short shorts. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and practice those in the scales as well. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and, or 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and so on. Next technique is our Georgia shuffle. So the Georgia shuffle has a similar sound to the Nashville shuffle, but it achieves it by doing a long bow and a pulsed bow. So that's our long pulse and long pulse, long pulse, long pulse. And that the sound of just the change of directions after the pulse gives you that and in there. Long pulse and long pulse and long pulse and long pulse. Now this is also sometimes called up bowing or down bowing, because whatever bow stroke you start, the opposite is going to be your pulse or your tug. And that tug indicates whether you're an up bower or a down bower. So if I'm starting by pulling down, I'm an up bower. You can see all of the hops are in the up. If I start on an up bow, all of my tugs are going to be going down, so that makes me a down bower. Or you might be a down and up bower and mix them all together from time to time, which is also perfectly fine. So that you can also practice on a scale. So you can see that's my long pulse and long, 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 pulse. So that's your Georgia shuffle. Next up is our figure 8 bowing. Figure 8 bowing happens usually across 2 strings, and it's a down bow and a down bow, followed by an up bow and an up bow as you're changing. So string 1 down, string 2 down, string 1 up, string 2 up. And that is using the A and E here. That's creating a figure 8 here on its side, or like the infinity sign. My hand is making that shape as I'm bowing, like so. Da-da, 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 da-da. And that figure 8 can happen in either direction, meaning if I start on an up bow, let's see. If I start on the higher string, versus starting on the lower string. It's going to create the figure 8 in either case. So that incorporated into a scale for practice. I'm going to use the lower string as my drone string, so it'd be. Exercise for figure 8 bowing. The other one, often clumped together with figure 8, but only in that it's using 2 strings. The bow strokes are quite different. Is our circle bowing. So it would look like. It's a down bow on one string and an up bow on the next string. Down, up, down, up, down, up. And you can see this is also making a circle on its side that I'm turning with my bow, like so. And to change, so that's my clockwise circle, low string, high string. To make it a counterclockwise circle, it's going to be the high string, the low string, the high string, the low string. So depending on whether you're starting low string as your down bow or high string as your down bow, will rotate the direction of your circle. You can use that also in your scale. Of my circle there on the way down. All right, final technique is double bowing. This one, I'm going to be doing 2 bow strokes on one string, 2 bow strokes on the next. So a down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Or it could also be up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. More often I see it starting with a down. So that would be like down, up, 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 down, up. Or, yeah, that feels awkward. Up, down, 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 up, down. This one practiced in a scale. And you can practice putting emphasis on the moving notes or on the stagnant note, the one that's staying there. All right, and that will give you some practice on many different bowings you can incorporate into your fiddling. Thanks. Hi there, I'm Dakota Karper. Thank you so much for joining me today for this class. If you enjoyed it and want to find more, you can follow me on Patreon, where I have hundreds of classes now, pre-recorded on fiddle, banjo, and guitar. You can also find out more at my website, dakotakarper.com, or thecatandthefiddlewv.com, which is my folk music school. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Facebook, and I'll see you next time. Bye.